What's up, folks? I'm just going to jump on the hype train here real quick and talk about some exciting news. There's been a lot of news and a lot of chatter in the news, for lack of a better word, this past week and change about Heroes of the Storm potentially coming back as a big deal game. It was put on life support about a year ago, so that they have not been planning to support the game anymore. Competitive play went away, no more updates, no more new heroes. But there's still a very vocal and dedicated fan base, including myself, that absolutely loves the game and really misses it. And particularly this week, it was last week, excuse me. Last week we had some really, really promising comments from, oh geez, what's his name? Phil Spencer, I believe. I'll double check the name, but not Microsoft CEO, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer, talking about how much he would like to revisit some historical IPs from Microsoft and Microsoft now owning Activision Blizzard. Old game libraries, so old intellectual properties, some things that came out there. And to the best of my knowledge, Microsoft doesn't have a MOBA of their own. I could be totally off base about that. But they don't have something like Heroes of the Storm, which is an IP-specific MOBA that really has, again, that dedicated fan base. Now, in addition to Phil Spencer's comments last week, we also got a huge balance patch earlier this week, which touched about every single hero and made some fundamental changes to how their abilities work, how they're doing. Some of the key stuff, some of the global things, so abilities that bounce will require all targets to be visible. Cleave abilities will now reveal the area and do not require targets to be visible. And then Splash will reveal the area and do not require the area to be visible. My first thought on that, reading that first line, was Cassia, who has that Lightning Ball ultimate, whose ability can... Talents. Lightning Ball, Lightning Ball, Lightning Ball. Where are you? Boy, it's been a minute. Yeah, okay, there we go. So the Lightning Ball ultimate does a bunch of damage, and limiting the number of heroes that it can bounce between is good and bad. It's good because that'll concentrate a lot more damage, which is great. It's bad because if a character does get out of line of sight, it will stop being bounced too, won't hit it anymore, and that will make it easier for other heroes to spread out and stop the bouncing. So, win some or lose some on that. But, yeah, a lot of changes to Aram, I don't know how to say that, invulnerability changes, just a really, really broad list of changes here, which is really cool because that coming so quickly after Phil Spencer's comment. Obviously, this is a big update. They've been working on it for a while, but it's a really public demonstration that the development team behind Heroes of the Storm still wants to be involved and wants to do it. Which makes the life support extra tragic because that means it wasn't the developer's choice to stop updating the game, but does also make it extremely promising as one of the games that may come back now that we're looking at revisiting some IPs. And it wouldn't even be that hard. You just start rebooting the support, put the same team that was already on it back on it, and people would be really happy to get back into the game, I think. Of course, League of Legends players and Dota players will probably, poo-poo this, but yeah, whatever. The reason that Heroes of the Storm is so popular among the fans who like it, one of the big reasons is that it's a very accessible MOBA and does not have some of the big toxic issues that plague the rest of the genre. Some of the big stuff being you are not competing with your own team. Also, you don't have to worry about the item shopping, which I know people love it, but that is a dumb game mechanic. And I will go on record as saying the item shopping mechanic is dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Especially since there's a huge pool of items and 99% of them are bad. And you have to spend a ton of research time figuring out which items to do and which play, blah, 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 whatever, rather than getting better at the game. And it really sort of removes you from the game. I really like Heroes because it is fast. It's all about the interactions of the heroes themselves. The maps are objective-based and quick. There's a lot of really good things about the game to love, and I, for one, am very excited about the possibility that it may come back. So cheers. Here's hoping. Yeah, big news.